I'm gonna just let him hear a little bit of it. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? Hey, hey. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. We live in the building, man. Just give y'all a little ounce of what we been kicking with over here, man. I ain't gonna let y'all hear all of it, man. That's why it's called a snippet. You feel me? But yo, man, what's up with you, man? It's your boy West Coast, and we live in the building, man. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing, man? It is your boy West Coast, and we live in the building. Say, man, it's the three amigos of cowboy content, bringing you guys some of that content the only way that you guys know it, and you guys know that we gonna bring it to you straight, uncut, and on raw. You feel me? So, yo, man, your boy West Coast, we live in here, and I got my boy HTM Sports from HTM. What's up with you, my boy?
Man, living righteous, man. You know, the liquor store was open. Everything is good. We're still getting drunk on Eagles tears, man. So it's lovely.
Yes, sir. And hey, man, listen to me. In 2022, I ain't gonna no, actually 2023. What is this? 2023? 2022 to 2023. You know what I'm saying? West Coast, y'all know I get kind of crazy on the air, you know what I'm saying? So I said the only way that I can stay on this air is if I get myself my own attorney. You feel me? Get my own representation. You feel me? So we got Stargazer from Stargazer Sports in the building. What's up with you, man?
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Star. Happy to be here again. Don't think y'all thought y'all were gonna see me twice in 1 week, but I'm back again.
I heard that, man. I heard that. Well, listen to me. You guys already know, as you guys already know the slogan. You know, whenever West Coast goes live, there's two things you guys must do. First thing you must do is you must hit that share button. So I need everybody right now to hit that share button. Now, there's another thing we gonna do. I'm trying to get these things up. Hey, everybody, update your thumbnails if you're able to. You know what I mean? There's another thing we must do. It's a thing called stars and a thing called super chats. And what are stars and what are super chats? Where they're simply a way that you, the content watcher, can show us, the content creators, that you rock with the content, man. And how do you do that? By supporting it. That's why, by hitting that star button on Facebook and then hitting that super chat button on YouTube, on the tubes of you. So, yo, man, this is what we gonna do, man, because you guys already know, man, this stuff ain't free. You feel me? It ain't free. So we got to keep this thing rolling. So HTM, man, I want you to look in your comment box over there, and I want you to tell me who's helping you keep them lights on, man.
Let's see. Matter of fact, Brian Kite just tapped in, but I got a couple more folks up here watching, but Brian Kite is the only one that said something on YouTube. You don't speak. I can't show you love, but I do appreciate you coming over here, man.
Don't be a weirdo. Like, bro, like, don't be a weirdo, bro. Go ahead. My bad. I had to say that though. Don't be a weirdo though.
You good, man. Go ahead, start your turn. Chop it up. Hey, what's up with you, Tyler? I see.
Um, I don't have
Nelly
anybody.
Rogers, what's up with you? I see. My bad. Go
I
ahead.
don't have anybody.
Star still, she's still building over there. She's still building over there.
We don't have nobody in chat, but I know there'll be some guys. Josimo, Quita, shouted them out last time. They were very excited about it, so I know they'll watch back and see.
Hey, well, this is what we're gonna do right now. I need, because I got like 35 people on my YouTube. I need at least 15 of y'all to go to Stargazer Sports right now. I need at least 15 of y'all. It's too many of y'all over here watching West Coast. I need y'all to go over to Stargazer Sports right now. You feel me? Go over there right now on YouTube. Type in Stargazer Sports right now. After you hit that, after you type it in, hit that subscribe button. I need about 15 of y'all to watch over there. You feel me? It's comfy over there. She got the big old cushions, and she got the outside pool, and she got the inside pool. Yeah, like it's
going off.
You mean? Listen, I ain't gonna say we nice over here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I see you get a little bit more for out there in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, but let me go through mine real quick, because y'all know I got some folks over here that's helping me keep these lights on, man. Let me see if I can get this up real quick. Man, I'm in the garage and it is raining like a mug out here in California, man. Whoever lied to us and said it don't rain in Southern California, man, they was lying like a mug, man. All right, so what's up with you, Tyler? I see you, my boy. Richard Evans. Hey, Richard Evans, hit that super chat button, boy. I appreciate you, man. ML Duff, you fishing, man. Hey, man, what the hell you fishing at? I'm trying to come fish. What's good, man? Corey to the max. What's up, boy? I see you, boy. Who we got over there? Hey, I'm serious about that fishing trip too. Dion Stewart, what's up with you? Joseph Vasquez, what's up with you? Craig, what up, Craig, man? What's up, Craig? I just talked to you in my inbox literally like 15 minutes ago. Darren, what's up with you, OG? You were literally like 20 minutes. Nah, you ain't 20 minutes. You about an hour 20 with me with traffic right now down the street from me. Dion, what's up with your boy? Peter, what's up with your boy? I see you, Mark Thomas. Appreciate you, Frank. Crazy ass Frank. What's up with your boy? Jonathan Taylor, what's up with your Mr. Consistent? Awesome video. What's up with your boy? Real Talk Cowboys, what's up with your man? Hey, look, Real Talk Cowboy. I was on your page last night. Literally on my mom, I was on your page. I was looking at your content, man. I see you, man. I see you moving. Mark Hughes. I see you too, Mark Hughes. Hey, Darren, he says this is old school Apex hat or logo. I think that's a question for Stargaze. I got the same sport that the same hat.
Yes, this is the shark tooth hat from back when we won the Super Bowl, guys. So I'm wearing it. I'm rocking it today, guys.
Shoot, I heard that.
That's what's up.
I heard that. Well, yo, man. Speaking of Super Bowl, man. Now you know what? We're not gonna talk about Super Bowl. You wanna know why? Because it's March 30th. Yeah, man, it's March 30th. So let's calm down a little bit, nation. But what we will talk about, god dang it, we will talk about the Dallas Cowboys marching their ways into the NFL draft coming up. Literally, I would say 26 days, 27 days away. 27 days from now, me and my cousin right there at the top right will be going out there to Kansas City, Missouri. We had to be sure because I almost flew into the wrong state. We flying into Kansas and Missouri to cover the NFL draft, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all this right here before we get on those airplanes and get on those highways and byways to go out there to bring you guys that content of the NFL draft like nobody else can bring it. Shoot, we gonna talk about it, man, and we streak it straight. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, West Coast don't like surprises, man. I don't like surprises. You feel me? Around Christmas, I'll be looking at my bank statement trying to figure out what I got. You feel me? I don't like them. I don't like surprises. And I ain't trying to be surprised at the draft. You feel me? So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Pick 26, random fire question just to start the show off, man. What would be a position group that would ultimately surprise you if the Cowboys drafted at pick 26? Let's start off right there. And Stargazer, man, I'll let you go ahead and knock it out the box first. What's your thoughts?
A position that would surprise me, I think if we got corner at that position, it might surprise me just because, not saying that we don't need another corner, because obviously we got Stephon Gilmore and he's basically a 1-year rental. I mean, he may crack out one more year with us, but it's likely that he's just going to be here for a year. So, but I still think that there will be other positions at that point. I would say cornerback and maybe linebacker at that position that may shock me a bit. Also, somebody said tight end. Tight end wouldn't. Tight end would shock me. If the front office actually did that would shock me. I ain't gonna lie.
HGM, what are your thoughts, man?
The only position they could draft that would surprise me is quarterback. Like there is a real, every other position I can understand. Like Stargazer said, like we only have Stephon Gilmore for basically a year, right? Then you have Brandon Cooks. You only have him for 2 years. You can get younger. You don't know the situation around Michael Gallup if they're going to retain him or cut him or do whatever. So that makes sense. You also know. At tight end, you did just let Dalton Schultz leave out the building. So if a top level tight end is there, even though the Dallas Cowboys history of drafting tight ends isn't really there, I can still see it because this is a new regime. Mike McCarthy is a former tight end himself, so I could even see that. Not saying that I would like it, but the only thing that they could do that would surprise me is quarterback. That would be the one thing that I would hate for them to do, and be the one thing that would throw a curveball at me.
Ooh. Well, guess what? There's some people in the comment box that are going to say stuff like this. Well, what, you're scared of Dak with some competition? Well, listen to me. This is what I'm going to say right here. It's not even about competition, right? It's really about, are we trying to win a Super Bowl in 2023? Because Jesus coming back in 2024. I'm just telling y'all right now, like we played around in 2022. You feel me? We got lucky and got one more extra year now. So we need to stop thinking about the future and we need to start thinking about the now. Listen to me. I believe the children are the future, but we are all grown ass adults, bruh. Like the last time I seen the Super Bowl was when I was a child. Listen to me. The Cowboys have gotten the nation so scared of the repercussions of winning a Super Bowl. Like, I don't care if I'm broke. I don't care, bro. I don't care if I'm broke. I don't care if we lose the entire team next year and all in Micah go. I don't care, bro. I am such a person that's like, yo, bro, can we just win a Super Bowl and then we'll just deal with this later next year? Someone asked this question, man, when the Rams won a Super Bowl, and I ain't gonna lie, this person was actually correct because they were like, yeah, the Rams won a Super Bowl, but look what's going to happen to them the next year. Like, and I was thinking, I actually defend. I was like, man, it doesn't matter. And guess what? The Rams, they was trash the next year. They weren't good. They acquisitions, da 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 da. And I really thinking myself, like, Dallas Cowboys, like, if the cost of the boss was to win a Super Bowl is like being like maybe not competitive the next year, is that a cost that I would be willing to pay? And you know what the crazy question is? You know what the crazy answer is? The Cowboys, yes, the answer is yes. But guess what? The Cowboys, we actually do draft so well that we probably wouldn't even have that because most teams that fall apart like that, you know what they're built off of? 100% free agents. And that's why guys go and they go different places. But the Cowboys actually are building a team that does have a healthy mix. So I don't even think, just like last year, you were competitive. You know what I'm saying? And this year you got better. So it's like, Cowboys, go all in because, man, worst case scenario, bro, you're going to win 12 games the next year. That's worst case scenario.
Facts. Yeah, just to piggyback on what you're saying, like the Dallas Cowboys actually are a good drafting team. So, we were trying to figure out, a damn metric we can actually gauge that in. Because, you said like the Cowboy draft just about as good as everybody does. Well, there's actually a metric for, well, what was it? For like career CPO in the draft since 2012. Like the Dallas Cowboys ranked fourth. So meaning like the guys that they draft, you're getting way more productive from their draft spots. So, you see players like Dak Prescott, who was a 4th-round pick, came in and made multiple Pro Bowl selections. You see guys like DeRon Bland, who was a starting caliber cornerback that you got in the 5th round. You got Tyler Biadasz, even though I don't think he's that great of a center, he did make a Pro Bowl selection, has been a starter for a while as a 4th-round pick. So, when you gauge like the overall value, Anthony Brown, like multi-year starter out of the 6th round. So when you gauge like the value that the Dallas Cowboys are getting in the draft, like, they came up with a metric that said that they're about 4th. So with that said, if you have one bad free agency, but you still draft the same way, you're not going to fall off a cliff.
Right.
Facts. And this is the thing. I'm gonna tell you something that I like about this free agency that just happened right now too. Is that first, the Cowboys were extremely active. I like that. Because if the NFL is active, you got to be active. Like, you're not, like, I always say that, like, guess what? In 2021, 12 wins was good enough to get you the number 1 seed and allowed you to get play at home, right? Well, in the very next year, 12 wins was only good enough to get you the 5th overall seed, and you had to go on the playoff. You had to go on the road twice. So if one is a smart person doing math, one would think even if you win 12 games next year, you might, I said this the other day, you might not make the playoffs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you be like a wild card team being back on the road again, like the Giants. Because think about this. Washington up to like week 8 was a playoff team. That's halfway through the damn season.
Yep.
They didn't get eliminated from playoff contention until the game before they played us.
When they let Carson Wentz start. So
exactly. So and then so it's like, I see it like this. Cowboys, your window is now. You know what I'm saying? So taking a quarterback at 26, there's, I kind of threw this idea out, and I didn't actually throw the idea out there because I wanted people to run with the idea saying that I was trying to replace Dak Prescott. But a lot of times I like to think like, what would Jerry do? And, in these situation like this, I could see this being a situation where Jerry Jones would want to come up, because we also got to think Mike McCarthy. We say Mike McCarthy does a lot of things. He like tight ends. He like this and that. Well, guess what? Mike McCarthy, he also drafted quarterbacks to replace other quarterbacks in the 1st round and let guys sit. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to coach these great quarterbacks unless they move on. You know what I'm saying? Or go somewhere else. So it's like, if anybody was to do that, I would see it would be a Mike McCarthy regime. And I almost feel like the Dallas Cowboys are preparing themselves to be able to pick whatever they want to pick. Because remember, Miami they lost their pick. They got caught cheating because there's some cheaters. And so technically the Cowboys are pick 26, but technically there's only 25 picks and there's only 24 picks in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So there is going to be a player that's going to fall because Miami's not going to be able to pick them. You know what I'm saying? And I almost feel like and it's like the reason why I think Jerry would draft a quarterback is to have to have leverage on Dak Prescott, because as of right now, you do not have any leverage on Dak Prescott. And the fact that they gave him a restructure versus a extension makes me believe that like they're not going to give him an extension, because it's like, why? At least they're not this year. They're not going to, because it's like, why would you not just give him an extension? An extension could have freed up as much money as you want to. And a restructure only frees up as much money as allowed within the restructure. You know what I'm saying? You could have gave Dak a whole damn new contract. You know what I'm saying? Get that dude $150 on the cap and gave him a $60 million signing bonus. You know what I'm saying? And people be like, be mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? He only going to cost this amount of money. So it's like,
right.
I think the only quarterback that the Cowboys would get in the first round would be if somebody like Bryce Young or CJ Stroud fell. I would think that would be the only two quarterbacks where they say, we're sorry, we got to pick this guy up. But other than that, the Will Levises, the Hendon Hookers, the who else? Oh, Anthony Richardson. I don't think that the Cowboys would pick them at 26 because there's going to be other premium positions. But I do agree
Right.
that if we made moves and we moved this offseason like we are betting on Dak Prescott instead of betting against him. Because
run that back. Run that. Hold up. Oh, I had a sound bite. I don't even know how to get my sound bites up. So, but I had some fires for you though. Go ahead.
It's okay, but no, like I think this year we made moves to say we're actually betting with him, and I think it started with firing Kellen Moore, because I think if we kept Kellen Moore here, that would be showing that we think that Dak Prescott is the problem. We're going to likely just wait out his contract, get him off the books, and we're going to bring a quarterback in here that can execute Kellen's I guess, well, they were the number one offense, but I guess basically a quarterback that could push Kellen's offense further in the playoffs. So with Jerry and Steven finally deciding, let's get rid of Kellen, that to me shows that we're not only all in on Mike McCarthy, but we're also all in on Dak Prescott, because it was only two people that you really could start to try to get rid of. It would be Kellen or it would be Dak, right? Because Dak is the one who had all these interceptions, which we as Cowboys content creators know why those interceptions happen. We know the complexities of the offense, but every random person doesn't know. All they know is that Dak threw, how many picks was it? 15? Right.
15.
All they see is Dak threw 15 picks. He's regressed. He sucks. So, with that being said, I think the front office has, and then with them adding weapon like Brandon Cooks, with them adding, knowing that cornerback 2 was a huge issue last year, and that's why we lost the Jaguars game. That's why we kind of lost
the Jaguars game because Kelvin Joseph gave up 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Right.
Quarter.
So it was right.
Listen to me. After folks was trying to tell me I was a hater, they called me a hater over Kelvin Joseph. I'm not. Listen.
Listen, I ain't let them live that down yet. Me and landlord just talked about.
They called me a hater over that dude. I said he is a safety, bro. Like he is a safety.
And I might be with you on that, Wes, because I do think we should try Kelvin out at safety, but
he's a J-Ron curse.
But obviously, it was big plays. Excuse me, guys. It was big plays that got us toward the end and that caused us to lose games. Because I mean, you look at we literally revived, or not revived, but awakened Christian Watson. He was like nothing. He was dropping balls left and right, and we literally got that guy's confidence all up. So with them addressing issues like that, they're making the way that they're moving, keeping their mouth closed about certain things, just making moves instead of trying to pump themselves up in the media, or Jerry, telling everybody in the media who we're interested in. The way that they handled the Zeke release. I mean, the it seems that the front office is moving completely different than they have in previous years. So I feel like with them making
Oh,
these types of moves and the way that they're operating and moving, like it seems like they're making moves to try to win a Super Bowl this year. Could we be wrong? We could, but from what I've seen, it looks like they're betting on Dak Prescott. They're not betting against, which would then not make sense to draft a quarterback at 26 again, unless
If you
Bryce
bet,
Young or CJ Stroud dropped.
okay, so then my question is, if you're
right.
betting, what's up with you, Michael McCoy? Appreciate you, my boy, with the $355 stars over there. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit that star button on Facebook. Make sure you guys hit those cash apps right there. The cash apps are up there, so make sure y'all support. Remember, we're going out to the draft April 27th. We're gonna be out there to the Sunday to the I don't know what day that is, but it's a long time, bro. So we're gonna be at the
30th.
30th. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
30th.
be out there to the 30th. So if y'all got some food, goddamn me, suggestions, inbox them, please. Inbox them. And we do eat pork over here. We do mind the swine. You feel me?
Yeah. Dying on a swine is
You
still
feel me?
fine. So
We do mind the swine, but I will say this: it can snay on the optic snay on the vegan. That's all I'm gonna say. You feel me? You send me to a vegan restaurant, I will find you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of them.
I
Listen, because
will
I'm one of
find.
them dudes that's gonna look at the menu and be like, "That looks good," and then I'm gonna bite into it, and then I'm gonna hate you.
Yeah, I don't want to bite into my burger and then have grass clippings in my mouth.
Can't do it, man. Can't do it, man. But listen. The only reason why I kind of like want to have the conversation of Dak Prescott. I don't, not even a conversation, but I really want to have the conversation of what's going to happen with Dak Prescott, because the Cowboys are going to do one or two things. Like, they're either going to have to make him a $50 million quarterback a year, or you're going to have to put a young quarterback behind him, because next year he is on a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying? And that 1-year deal is a cap hit of around $59 million. So it's like
59.4.
59.4. That point four is what's gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to think like this: if you're Jerry Jones, and I know Jerry Jones, if it ain't Jerry Jones, it's definitely Steven Jones. What's up, Steven? I see your boy with that 500 stars. Oh, crazy ass Stephen. Appreciate you, boy. But y'all know Steven, man, if Jerry Jones ain't paying attention with it, because he got a couple more lawsuits he got to deal with on the personal side. So he might be dealing with that more than this other stuff. But I know Steven Jones, his hair is slicked back and he full-fledged on this money. And you is not about to sneak $59 million by Steven Jones. No, sirree. Bob, no, buddy, no. So I feel like right now, what leverage? You got to think like right now, your quarterback has a no trade clause. That means you can't trade him unless he agrees to the trade. He is literally what Aaron Rodgers is doing. What Aaron Rodgers got a trade, no trade clause?
I think so.
Yes, I believe
Okay,
so.
yeah, they would. I would believe so too, because he's been gone by now. All right, and then also he has a no. He also has no franchise tag, so you can't franchise tag him as all. And then also you got to think like this. It's like, if the only reason I don't think the Cowboys will realistically use their 26 pick on a quarterback. I could see it happen though realistically, but I don't think they'll do it. The reason why I could see them doing it is because of the amount of money that's involved with Dak Prescott, with that
Well,
they have. And
I'm gonna say
go
this though, just to come back that even if they draft a quarterback, it still does not give them leverage over
unless the
Dak
quarterback's good
Prescott.
and plays good.
Not even if it's good, because regardless of what they do, no matter who they add to the roster, the cap hit is going to be the cap hit. He's going to make $59.4 million whether he plays or not. You can't cut him, you can't trade him. You damn sure ain't going to sit him while he making damn near $60 million a year. So it gives you leverage in contract negotiations, but it really doesn't even do it then. Like I said, you can't do anything about that cap hit next year unless you give him an extension. So, the ball is in their court. Either they're going to pay him the $59 million, or they're going to pay him the $59
Yeah.
million.
Either way, he's getting paid. So Dak is actually in a win-win.
Win-win situation.
He's
The
in a
Cowboys
win-win
are the ones that
situation.
are screwed.
Yeah, they're screwed regardless. So it would make sense for the Cowboys to just go ahead and extend Dak at this point. Um, because like we said, I mean, even if we do draft a rookie, right, it's still going to take that rookie time to get acclimated. So you're still setting, you getting rid of Dak Prescott is still setting your team back
It is.
for a couple of years, right? And so you're gonna have to build that, basically build your team back up again in order to put enough pieces around this rookie quarterback, because doesn't matter how good the quarterback is, he needs weapons, he needs a good team. So
Oh, I'm glad you
So,
said
get,
that.
yes,
so think about this. That's why, like, I think the model for every team is the San Francisco 49ers. Like, every team should be building their team to be not self-sufficient on the actual quarterback. I think that is in like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the Cowboys have now lost to the 49ers 2 times in the playoffs, who have all had quarterbacks that they feel are what, not better than the quarterback they have, right?
yep,
And it's like, listen, I don't want people out here thinking that West Coast is on here saying that the Dallas Cowboys should draft a quarterback. What I am saying, I am trying to figure out a realistic way for the Dallas Cowboys to get, not even get off Dak's contract, because I think, if you have my opinion, I think you restructure, not restructure, you extend that, give him a contract for at least 5 years, so you ain't even got to talk about it for the next 5 years. Like, you don't hear nobody talking about Patrick Mahomes' contract. Why? Because he ain't got to talk about it.
nope, they gave him a 12-year extension.
And he ain't even the highest paid quarterback anymore. He was the highest paid quarterback for literally like 3 weeks. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? And it's over with. So it's like, that's what would make sense for the Dallas Cowboys to do. Just give them an extension,
yep,
Why play all these games? You know what I'm saying? Why play all, because you're still taking a chance. But it's like, the reason why I really bring it up, man, is because, like I said, the situation with the 49ers, and I also look at the Cowboys like, you know, if if you're Jerry Jones and you're Steven Jones, you're not just gonna willingly just give him that money. And they didn't try to give it to him. They didn't try to give him to him the last
the
time. Remember,
first time.
the first time he got franchised, and then the second time, the last time was really the second time, because he got franchised twice. You know what I'm saying? So the Cowboys really told Dak twice no. And so my conversation is this: do the Dallas Cowboys really want to have negotiations again with Dak Prescott's agent? And to be honest with you, I don't think they do. You know what I'm saying? Now, and
No,
That
they lost
that's what I
last
was gonna
time.
say.
because,
I'm
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
Todd France is why they didn't extend Dak Prescott, because Todd France probably told Dak, "We set your deal up right so that we could come back once they get the new TV deal and all that type of stuff."
Mhm.
Because that's just, unfortunately, Dak Prescott's agent is an a-hole. So
Hey, but you know what? Wait. That's what your agent's supposed to be. Like,
supposed to be, yeah.
my attorney is an asshole too. You know what I'm saying? He a dog. My boy Cena is a dog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody he
Absolutely,
talked to, he give him bad attitude except for me. And we undefeated,
absolutely.
baby.
Yeah,
And we
undefeated.
undefeated,
Good.
baby.
So I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. Like at this point, like, um, dang, I forgot my train of thought. But uh, what were we talking about?
You're talking about the agent.
Oh yeah, I think that's the reason why they didn't extend Dak, because they know in order to do that, you got to go through it with Todd France. Like it's gonna be a battle with Todd France, because Todd France is probably not gonna let Dak just take some team friendly deal. Now, will we want Dak to take a team friendly deal? Yeah.
We want everybody to take a team for the
We
deal.
want everybody to take a team friendly deal, but would Todd France do that? It
Of course
just,
not.
I think it really depends, because I think the whole reason why because Todd France did the front office the way that they did because they franchise tagged Dak twice,
Facts.
which means you don't
Mhm.
believe you made two moves where you could have paid my guy 35, 38 million, but you franchise tagged him twice betting against him. Right? And so every single time you bet against Dak Prescott, you lost. Like, so
And think about this. And you couldn't find a equitable replacement either.
you
You
couldn't
couldn't find
replace Dak.
you couldn't replace him. And
Yeah. You tried it with Andy Dalton. He did not do well. You tried the Arena League guy. You tried Ben
You
DiNucci. You did
everything
everything.
you could to try to say, we'll be fine with Dak Prescott. But the fact is, the team looked horrible without Dak Prescott. Besides this year, that's why you need to give more claps and kudos to Mike McCarthy, because usually when your starting quarterback goes down, your team falls apart. We had no business basically going 12-5, but we went 12. We ended up winning those games, going 4-1 with Cooper Rush because of the philosophies that Mike implemented in order to keep us afloat, which was what? Run the ball, control the clock, let your
Mm-hmm.
defense rest your defense, and let your defense basically win these games, which is essentially what happened during those that time span that we had Cooper Rush. So
Hey,
Hey, real
go
quick,
ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but shout out to Dwayne Brown for the $5 donation. Thank you for the love
shout out
support,
to
my
Wayne
brother.
Brown because I already know if he hit you, he hit me. So shout out to Wayne Brown with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my boy. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you something too, real crazy. If when Tom Brady's with Tom Brady retiring, like there isn't many quarterbacks in the league who have won anything now. Think about this. Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes is probably now the most winningest quarterback in football, and he has 2 Super Bowls. Shout out to OG with the $5 super chat. I don't think anybody else is playing right now with multiple Super Bowls
nope.
Let me see. Is there?
because Rodgers only got one.
Outside, you can't even count it. Outside of what's the boy used to
If
be with the
Oh,
anybody
Jimmy
don't
49ers?
know,
Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo. Outside of Jimmy
oh,
Garoppolo,
back up,
who
oh,
didn't
back
start,
up,
who
no,
didn't
Yeah,
start.
that's about it.
Hey, they try to tell me that Carson Wentz ring counts, so
ah,
Well, really, yeah. I mean, there really isn't. Like Patrick Mahomes. That's why now, I mean, when you look at the quarterback landscape, I mean, you can try to put there's there's only Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow who have a better resume, I guess, than Dak, considering that they went further in the playoffs than him. But you can't put guys like Lamar Jackson. He hasn't gone further. He doesn't have the passing stats that Dak Prescott has. You cannot put Herbert. He hasn't gone farther. You cannot put who, oh, I guess you could try to put Jalen Hurts, but when you look at the stats, we already talked about this last show. So if you want to talk about accolades to people that you really somebody said Stafford maybe. But I mean,
I only got one
well,
Super Bowl.
exactly.
the only guys that have rings right now are Stafford, Mahomes, Wilson, and Rodgers in the
Right.
NFL.
So it's like there's not many, and we're talking about are these quarterbacks based on play? Is y'all taking Russell Wilson over Dak
No,
Prescott?
no,
Not
not
last year.
last year.
Okay, like are we? Do y'all want old man Rodgers to come in here? Y'all think we win the Super Bowl? We put out.
Not with
Listen to me,
not with him not with him geeking off them
Yeah,
shrooms
when
like that.
even
those
No.
Rodgers
things.
to be Detroit to get into the playoffs. Stop it.
Right.
A team in
Thank
your
you,
division.
Cole. Stafford was carried. I mean, this man led the league in interceptions, and his team still won the damn Super Bowl. So, I mean, Dak Prescott, regardless of where you,
Hey, Star, real quick, Dwayne Brown asks, what's your check your cash app. He said he hope he didn't send it to the wrong
oh, he sent
person.
me something.
Your cash app is
Yeah,
the Lee Law Firm, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Let me see.
TheLeelawfirm.
Oh yeah, I got some. Thank you, Dwayne Brown. I appreciate that.
There you go.
much love to Dwayne Brown, the GOAT, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate you for
Dwayne. I
supporting the
Cash
appreciate
app
brother.
that.
note right there.
Thank you, thank you. But there's just not many quarterbacks. Like realistically, if we're going on play, like play purely, the only quarterbacks that I will allow you to put in front of Dak Prescott, for me personally, is Patrick Mahomes, of course. I'll allow you to put Joe Burrow, and
Mhm.
I'll allow you. To me, I know people may think I'm crazy, but I think if Dak had won the NFC or went to the NFC Championship, I'm putting him above Josh Allen based on play. But because Josh Allen has reached an AFC Championship, I will allow someone to put Josh Allen over Dak. But other than that, I'm not really allowing much else. Like that's
Right.
that's me personally. You can call me a homer, you can say whatever, but you look at the stats, you look at
The numbers
yeah, the
back it up.
numbers, winning percentage. I mean, all of that stuff. Like, I'm not putting Herbert and and Mr. Sunshine. What's his name? From the Jags,
You,
Trevor
you said it
Lawrence.
right, Sunshine.
Like those guys. We're not. I'm not putting those guys over that. Sorry.
You can't listen. Dak Prescott is 61-36 as a starter in the NFL. He's won 2 playoff games. He's eighth all time in completion percentage. He's tied for eighth all time in passer rating. He's ninth all time in touchdown to interception ratio. He's top 25 in career win percentage in NFL history. You know, he set all kinds of Dallas Cowboy franchise records in the time being as well. And when you look at guys around the league that they love, Trevor Lawrence, you know, he threw 5 touchdowns in the playoffs, but he also threw 5
Like, come on,
interceptions.
guys. Like, y'all got to stop this. And his rookie year was not now. And I know they had that, with Urban Mind, they had that crazy stuff over there in Jags land. But come on, guys. Like, y'all got to stop this. And A.O. Owens Hurts is better than that. Come on. I mean,
No, we're not
in
gonna
what?
sit there and lie. Ed,
As a
hold on,
running
Eddie.
back?
Yeah, Eddie, you've been here going off. Give me a statistic that
Hurts is better than that.
no, give me a statistic that Allen is better in, please.
Oh,
If you can
yeah.
find one
Like,
statistic that Josh Allen is actually better in, because Dak Prescott has a better completion percentage, he has a better passer rating, he has he has less turnovers, like all this other stuff you're talking about. You do realize that Josh Allen is the actual player that led the NFL in turnovers. Right, because he lost nine fumbles, and he only had one less
led the league in
interception.
red zone interceptions. Like, y'all gotta stop it.
Thank
Y'all
you.
gotta stop it. I know, and I
Yeah.
think it's because y'all look at arm talent. That's why y'all put Herbert over Dak and Trevor Lawrence, because y'all say, oh, they have better arm talent. But guys, there's so much more to a quarterback than freaking arm talent. I don't understand what y'all don't get about that. And also, Dak has an NFL quarterback arm. Dak had that. If y'all go look at Dak's draft prospect notes. If y'all think I'm lying, go look at how they are. The draft, what's it called? The scouts literally said Dak Prescott had the arm in college to make every NFL throw. So
He did.
I just don't know. It's like y'all want these circus throws, I guess. Every time y'all post a circus throw from Herbert, oh, look at that. It's like, okay, but that doesn't mean just because I can throw a ball, some type of weird, beautiful ball that y'all like to say, doesn't mean that they're better than Dak. I'm sorry.
And, and listen, the reason y'all say these other quarterbacks are better than Dak because you don't watch them. You see
Tyler,
one
I
damn
know they
game
didn't, I
from
know they
them.
didn't watch that. I know people didn't watch
You
that
don't.
Buffalo game where he threw two.
Li-
Like, it's funny because everybody's like, "What? Stephon Gilmore was going off on." Now, so Stephon Diggs was going cussing his quarterback out, and he's such a.
He
I'm
was
like,
supposed
yeah,
to,
bro, but like, why was I be like, why was he cussing him out though? Like,
it's,
why?
because he was
it's
playing bad.
Quarterback
horrible.
And
is
listen,
bad.
Playing
and
horrible at
listen though,
home.
like, and listen, it's because you watch 17 games with Dak Prescott. You see the highs, you see the lows, and you only watch what you might see Patrick Mahomes like two games out of the year because you're watching all the Dallas Cowboys games. You're not watching the Chiefs games. 9 times out of 10, the Chiefs games ain't on TV because your ass don't live in the Kansas City area unless
100%.
they on prime time. So like you have a very skewed perception of
Very
what the hell is
skewed.
really going
Very
on. So everybody throws interceptions. Like everybody you mentioned throws like double-digit interceptions in a
mm-hmm.
year, right? So like it is what it is. Like you will feel the same way if the roles were reversed. If Josh Allen was your quarterback and we still weren't winning championships, and Dak Prescott was in Buffalo, with the same production, you would be out. You would be beating the table for Dak Prescott, right?
Absolutely.
It's perception.
And it's like, guys, y'all do realize that, like, last year, statistically speaking, when it came to touchdowns and interceptions and passer ratings, y'all do know last year Dak was better in those categories than Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in less games. So, and I'm not saying, nobody's saying Dak is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is Dak is on par statistically with these quarterbacks, and he had a better year statistically when it comes to touchdowns, interceptions, and passer rating than these quarterbacks in less games. So, and through the same amount of touchdowns as Aaron Rodgers, who was the MVP in less games. So,
Right.
and
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 A.O. Owens, listen, you say you can't throw 5 interceptions, and after missing 5 games, that's cool. But you do realize like Dak Prescott was number 5 in NFL history before this year in touchdown interception ratio. He still has over 100 more touchdowns than he does interceptions. So he had one bad season after he broke his damn thumb, and you really hold that against him.
And then
Be
also
better.
you got to remember this right here. You know, for the folks that blame the you got to take in consideration why he was actually missing, why he missed those 5 games. Like he didn't miss those 5 games because he had a broken toe. Like he had something that was actually wrong with his
Wrong with
hand.
his
So it is
hand.
actually so it actually so for someone to say you can't miss 5 games and come back in, that's actually not a true statement, because one would think if a guy broke his a thumb that might be something different with how he grips the ball, how he throws the ball. That's just realistic. And we also got to think like this. Like, we're not going to keep having this conversation. Why? Because we are all, when you have the conversation about Dak leading the league in interceptions, that means that you are realistically one or two things. You either dumb or you stupid. And then the next thing is three things, actually. Because the third thing is this. The reason why I say you dumb, actually, it's just two things. You're either dumb or stupid. Because we all know that there was 6 passes that touched another person's hand and bounced into the defender's hand, like the one Ferguson did, like the one Noah Brown did, like the 2 CD Lamb did. Like, so when I hear people saying 15 or he led the NFL in 15 interceptions, that lets me know that you are holding him responsible for Jake Ferguson literally catching the ball and then tossing it into the Jaguars' hands. You're blaming that on Dak, or you're blaming Noah Brown doing a 3-yard out route, catching the ball, and then the ball bouncing up and in the damn corner, taking it into the game and the game being over. How are you blaming that on Dak Prescott? And guess what? In that moment when it happened, you didn't even blame Dak then, because you were watching the game. You were all mad at Noah Brown. You were not mad at Dak Prescott. We wanted to kill Noah Brown. Y'all know we did.
100%. And look at what Cole said. Cole said, check this out. In college, this is Cole's Cowboy. None of Dak's wide receivers made the NFL, and Dak was a Heisman candidate.
Somebody said, imagine how many interceptions he would have if he would have played those extra 5 games. Honestly, I would actually imagine Dak probably wouldn't have had those interceptions if he had those 5 games, because he would have been more on point with his quarterback. But think about this, fellas.
Yep.
Think about this, and then we're going to move subjects. I'm going to think about this. Interceptions is not a ratio of wins to losses, because Matthew Stafford, and I always say this stat, and AO, I want you to know, I want AO in the comment box right now in Facebook over here. I want your opinion on this. What is your opinion on Matthew Stafford leading the league in interceptions and winning the Super Bowl in the same season? What is your thoughts on that? We're gonna go. I just want your thoughts on that. If you don't think that makes any sense or it's crazy, then you say that in the comment box. But I just want your thoughts on that. He says Stafford didn't miss. Hey, look, I want your thoughts on that right there. You know what I'm saying? I want your thoughts on leading the league in interceptions, because Matthew Stafford still had like 16 interceptions, and 5 of those interceptions for Dak Prescott didn't even touch his hand. So, hey, next subject though. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys at 26 taking a let's talk defensive player. What's a defensive position that you guys like, or you think are looking at for the Dallas Cowboys at that pick 26?
Man, defensive player, it's tough, man, because because we are picking, at pick 26, there's only 31 first round picks this year. You're damn near in the second round at that point. So it's really just going to depend on the best player available. I know people probably believe that Joey Porter Jr. will not be there. That's a cornerback I like a lot. Um, some people don't even have Mozzie Smith having a first round grade, depending on who you talk to. But I think Mozzie Smith will actually fit what we like to do. He's a true one tech, big strong run stopper. Has a high motor, so I like him. But it's really tough for me to just pick out one defensive player. Now, a defensive player that I like in general, I don't know if people have him as a first round pick, but it's Emmanuel Forbes. Like that's like my one defensive player. I don't care if you reach for him that I really, really, really want. And shout out to my wife showing love in the chat. I love you, baby. I see you in here supporting me and supporting all of us. So I appreciate that. But yeah, and hey, Cole Cowboy said I like Kancey, man, but I need, and this is a thing though, right? because he might be one of the better defensive tackles
in the draft.
in the draft. But I don't know if he can do what we need him to do
Mhm.
at a high level. Like I don't know if he can be the run stopper that we need. He definitely can sack the
Right.
quarterback. He definitely can push the pocket. He can do all these things. He's a great athlete, great specimen. But I don't know if he can
Stop the
stop the run
run.
at this next
And
level.
you so
And,
right on that, Hitty, because that's a key. That's what y'all have to see and realize the type of scheme that we run. Because we need if y'all look at Osa, Neville, who's our other DTs?
Bohannon,
Bohannon. I think we also played Golston at DT. They actually
he played
told
DT.
them those guys put on like 20 insane. I won't say 20 pounds, but I may be exaggerating. But they put on a lot of muscle because DQ and Mike had them put on that much mass because they want our defensive tackles to stop the run. That is how they play. They're not asking them like when we were under Rod, where our defensive tackles were just asked to get upfield. Our defensive tackles are asked to stop the run. So y'all have to think about that. I know we are fascinated with Elijah Cansey because he ran a 4.7, and people talking about he's a mini Aaron, a mini Aaron
Yeah,
Donald.
hey, listen, they played at the same school. They both had similar sack numbers and stuff.
Right.
So I can see I could see like the infatuation. But like you said, if we were in a different scheme, I definitely would
Right. If
want
we
him.
were in a different scheme, but our scheme is asking him to stop the run, and I just don't know if he and we signed we signed Jonathan Hankins back, and then we also signed Carlos Watkins. We haven't signed Carlos Watkins. Sorry guys. I hope that we signed Carlos Watkins back. But so Elijah Cansey, if we picked him at 26, I just feel like there'll be more.
Oh, Carlos Watkins just signed with the Cardinals, so we are not
Oh
getting him back.
no.
I like Carlos.
Oh
I'm gonna tell
no.
you
I
this right
love
now. I'm gonna tell
Carlos
you this right
Watkins.
now. Cowboys low key though, and I'm gonna tell you like the Cowboys are like a team that like they low key be leaving like bad tastes in people's mouth because they did Carlos kind of grimy, bruh. Like they kept like they activated him, then they didn't activate him, then they put the dude on the practice squad. Like, god damn, man.
Dang, I like
And we,
Carlos.
and we still not out here. The thing that I hate is like when we're not able to stop the run, and I feel like people that could possibly help us do stop the run aren't playing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's what irritates me. Like if we got our best guys out there and we still getting our ass kicked, and hey man, God is good, bro. Jerry, go spend some money. You know what I'm saying? But it's like there's been times where we were getting ran on, and I'm like, bro, why don't you take him off the practice squad?
Bruh, Carlos Watkins. I think Carlos Watkins was low-key our best DT last year.
He was. And he's smart. And think about this, and he's undersized. I'm gonna tell you something else the Cowboys need to also do too is like we need to start playing a little common sense football around this defensive line. And common sense football means this: we need to go get these big, fat, ugly, nasty dudes, and those dudes start at 350. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, listen to me. Listen, don't cancel me when I say this. We don't need no many damn sacks, bro. How many sacks do we need? How many sacks do we need?
Hold on, West Coast. You know good and well we need 100 sacks. You know we need 100 sacks.
Like
we need 1,000 sacks.
We need 1,000 sacks in a year. It's 1,000. Because listen to me. I remember one time they said you get 30. If you get 30, it was like if you get 30 sacks. No, it was 35. So you get 35 sacks. You're a playoff team. You're gonna do okay. Then you get 40. If you get 40 sacks, you get 40 sacks, man. If you get 46, if you're a team that can generate 40 sacks, okay. You know what? Listen, man. A defense that can get 50 sacks, man. Like I'm just saying, 50 sacks, bro. Come on, man.
I can't believe
I feel like sacks help, but I don't feel like they really like change the dynamics of games like we really think they do.
On third down, they do.
Not really.
Realistically, like think about this, and I ain't listen to me. I ain't trying to PP on nobody's party. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not with the PPing on party. I'm a party animal. I'm a good guy at a party. I like you know what I'm saying? But I just want to know, just off the top of your head, 10 seconds. Think of a sack that changed the game this year.
Well, I can't.
The only one I can come up think of.
My head, I can't.
The game was basically already over. Is in the Rams game when Micah ended the game with the sack on what's it call it, and then the ball came out.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
gonna say this about sacks. The Eagles led the league in sacks and made the Super Bowl. Chiefs had 55, they were second. But the Patriots had 54. They didn't even make the playoffs. The Cowboys had 54. We left in the second round. So I don't think there's really a
yeah.
correlation to it.
We need guys to stop the run, guys. That's why we brought back Hankins. That's why we also
That's
if
crazy about the
if we
Patriots.
draft a DT, we need to get a run stopping DT. We don't need a. I'm sorry, I know y'all may want Aaron Donald Jr. and
Right. Well,
Kalani
Aaron Donald came out of
Johnson,
college. When he came out, he wasn't known as a run stopper. He was more as a pass rusher.
pass rusher.
He was pass rushing defensive
Mhm.
tackle. Now I got to look at his scouting report. I think that I don't think they had run stopping as a weakness, but I know damn well it was a
Right,
highlight
that
as a
wasn't
strength.
his right. And I think Kalijah Kancey is going to be the same way. He is a pass rushing defensive tackle. I think we need a run stopping defensive tackle that makes everybody behind him better, which would probably be Mozzie. So I think, if we were to draft Mozzie at 26, I think I'd be okay with that. I'm personally on team let's draft an offensive lineman at 26. But I mean, if we
Ew.
did but if we did draft a defensive player, I would be okay with Mozzie. I would also be okay with Forbes. I would be okay reaching for him. I know CPS
Time
is
out. Time out. Hell, you mean reaching?
well. CBS board has him ranked that he's gonna go at top of the second. So if we picked him at 26, I guess it would technically be a reach. I personally think Emmanuel Forbes is the best corner. I know he's a little bit small in his weight, but this is a 6'1".
Can I ask you a question? Is it a reach? Is it a reach as in we don't think we'll be able to get him, or is it a reach in talent?
No, listen. This is the thing. I wouldn't. It would just really depend on our draft board.
Mhm.
If we have a player with first round talent and they're there, I don't care what anybody else say. If we have a first round grade
Then we
on
get
them,
him.
then we should
Right,
take them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I personally think Emmanuel Forbes is a first rounder. I don't see with his ball skills, um, and him having the most pick sixes in NCAA history. I just don't know
What the
why.
hell? Dude, what?
He
Time
had
out.
6
You
pick
is not
sixes.
gonna disrespect Deion Sanders like that. You better watch your mouth, girl. You gonna get a sued on here. What's wrong with you?
Hey, she ain't
I'm not
she ain't
lying.
lying.
That's what
I'm the number man. Listen, you
Go
know I'm the
ahead and
number
back
man.
me
If it
up.
was wrong, hold on now, damn it.
Back me up, Kenny.
we gonna I don't have to ride for Star. This man had 6 pick sixes in his college career, and that is the most in NCAA history. And he had 11
So
total
why is
interceptions.
he not being spoke about? Like
I have no idea. I said, why aren't we
Skinny.
talking
explain to me
about
why,
Emmanuel
why
Forbes?
he's not being talked about as like
He's
a
small.
He's 180. He's 180 pounds on a
Yep.
good
listen
day.
to me.
He's
A
too
pro camp,
skinny. He's too
listen to me. A
skinny.
pro camp, there is a guy named Horge, not George. His name is Horge. His job is to put as many pounds on you as you need. Like all that, he's small, he's big. Unless you listen to me. If you're small, I don't want to do that. If you're small that way, like going this way, like your body wise, Horge can fix that. If you small this way, Horge can't fit that. That's between you and Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He can't grow you no bigger. You know what I'm saying? But you can get wider.
And
You can
listen,
definitely put some.
But no, he's good size. He's 6'1".
he's 6'1". And look, he ran a 4.3 at his at the
4.35.
combine.
Is that right, Henny? I think a 4.35 or 4.3.
4.35. Jason Garrett said his weight was at 1.166. That's a little dude, but listen,
He don't play little. He's
listen.
very physical. He likes to come up and hit and tackle. I mean, you watch his college film. I mean, this man is trying to lay out tight ends. Like like Emmanuel Forbes is a dude. And if we got him on this team, let's party. That's what I would say. I don't care.
Darren Sutton said it's pronounced Jorge. It's pronounced Jorge. West Coast. The West Coast look like he having a very deep, intimate conversation.
It's thunder and raining, and my daughter. Listen, they swim. My daughter is in a junior. She's trying to get. She's a swimmer. That's what she does. and she's in this American swim program. And bro, they swim in no matter what. It's raining, so it started thundering. They canceled practice, and I'm here with you guys. My mom's supposed to go pick her up in an hour, so I had to get her an Uber. And then you know how kids like, girl, where you at? When you get in the Uber, you're supposed to call me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The app says I'm in though, daddy. No. Call me.
Call me. Thank you.
Call me. Emergency.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta make sure it's a real Uber, man. You know how they moving out here. You know how they moving out here, man.
Technology, man. But that's what I was trying to. You guys held me down to. That's what I was trying to do this whole time. I was getting her Uber.
No, you are good. Family first. Family's more important. You know what I'm saying? So.
Hey, listen to me. I love what you guys are saying too, because listen to me. I've been preaching that same thing. I told y'all I want a dude that don't even know how to sack the quarterback. Like he gonna sack the quarterback on accident. Like, oh, what? Like, I got a what? That's a what? That's called a sack. What is that? That's when you hit. Oh, I thought that was the running back. Nah, he was the quarterback. He was just running like, okay, that's what's up. That's what I need. I need a defensive tackle that don't know nothing but stopping. And right here, I also need a defensive tackle that takes pride in this, because a lot of time defensive tackles don't actually stop the run. You know what they do? They stop the reroute. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line is trying to create the Red Sea. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to create the Red Sea parting. That's their job. They're trying to separate you from life. You know what I'm saying? And create this lane so this little zippy guy can run right through it. You know what I'm saying? A good defensive tackle might sometimes that's when your linebackers are supposed to be able to tackle that, right? But a good defensive tackle isn't always going to make the tackle. A good defensive tackle is going to be on that reroute game. Meaning when they trying to down block me, basically they trying to block me the opposite way of where the play is going. Do we change that flow and push them back into it? Because I'm gonna tell you what happens is that, hey man, I'm cooking right now, man. I'm cooking right now. I need y'all to hit that star button. I need you to hit that share button. I need you to hit that super chat button, and I need you to hit that goddamn cash app button, because we cooking right now. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened is when you get that reroute game. What happens is the running back, he turned into Barry Sanders. And then guess what happens? A guy like DeMarcus Lawrence, a guy like Sam Williams, a guy like Micah Parsons gets a tackle for loss in the backfield, and everybody calls him a god, while the defensive tackle just gets up with a humble smile and knows he did his job. That's what I need, bro.
Yeah.
Because a defensive tackle is really like an offensive lineman, bro. Like, they don't get no glory. No, they don't get any glory, bro. They're just nasty all game, bro.
But having a good defense,
unless you're Chris Jones or Aaron Donald, like I said, you don't get no love as a DT unless you sack the quarterback.
Those guys, but let's just be real. Those guys really only get love because they sack the quarterback. If Aaron Donald didn't sack the quarterback, he would not get the love that he has.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Believe me, I agree with you. Now, because even in Ndamukong Suh, when he made his DP of the year, whatever the hell he won, he was sacking the quarterback. Yep. So you got a good point. Defensive tackles, no, it's a thankless job. It's a thankless job.
But they're essential to your team's success. They're essential to your defense's success, and that's what we were missing, right? For so many years, guys, we kept saying, why don't we get some real defensive tackles and not tweeners like we had in God, what's his name? Crawford and things like that. Like, that's why we've been able to see. That's why we were so excited for trading for Jonathan Hankins. I know people didn't think it was that big because we only traded like a 7th or a 6th, but we saw what he did for our defense. We saw what he did for LVE, for our middle linebacker. Like, and y'all think about it, every great linebacker has great defensive tackles in front of them. Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football, right?
Yep.
That's what y'all would say. Okay. Yeah. Who are his defensive tackles?
Look at the Colts. They got
with Darius Leonard.
Buckner. And Buckner is available right now.
Oh, I would love to get Buckner.
Iceberg Slim said, y'all wasting y'all breath on offensive players for the first round. It's going to be a playmaker. Well, I don't know, but you might be on to something, man. Right. Like, I will say this. Like, they let Dalton Schultz go, and they got to keep Donovan Wilson. Mike McCarthy, he might get him a player. Right now it's 2-1 on the
Right.
defense. The defense got two
Mike
guys,
got
and
one, and Brandon
Mike
Cooks.
got
About this
one.
though. Think
Whatever.
about this though. Realistic though, the Dallas Cowboys, bro, you're paying a lot on the offensive side of the ball right now.
They are.
Every contract on the defense you can get out of.
It's cheap.
There is nobody on. Listen, I think the highest. Let me think about it. The highest paid defensive player on defenses should be DeMarcus Lawrence.
It is.
Yeah. Well,
got
listen,
Tony
I'm
Pollard.
gonna say this. We were going. Yeah, Tony Pollard making
You
$10
got
million.
Michael
It don't
Gallup
really count,
making
but
like 11.
he
16.
making 6
Oh,
this
6.
year.
Oh, they restructured him. I
He
forgot
making
they
6.
restructured him. I
They
forgot
restructured
that.
him. So, and listen, the crazy thing is he's still the highest paid player on wide receiver on the team because they restructured Brandon
Right.
Cooks too. So they both make 6, but Michael Gallup makes like a little bit more. So Michael Gallup, you the third receiver, you the
That's
highest paid
crazy.
receiver we got. You better do something.
Yeah,
You better
he
do
better do
something,
something
boy.
this year. Tell you that. Tell you that much. But yeah, I think we if we get defensive tackle, I mean, if we do get a defensive player, we should either go defensive tackle or we could get another cornerback, because I mean, realistically, your cornerback depth is not too good, because we don't know about KJ, which we hope that he shows us something in his third year, but we don't know. And then you look in the strong.
Man, I seen it, bro.
I
Yeah,
know Henny is done with Kelvin Joseph. He like, I'm done.
My thing with Kelvin Joseph is, first off, when he came into the NFL, I said I think he's a safety. So for me, he's always had to prove to me that he's not a safety and that he's a corner, right?
Mm,
He listen to me.
that's not done it
In
yet.
that Jacksonville Jaguars game, that is the clinic right there, because they beat him two different ways. They beat him on a stem route where he couldn't get his hips around, and they just went up top for him, boop, touchdown. Then on the very next series and a half, down around in the red zone, up close currents, slant, bro. There's only 3 routes he can run. Got him again, hips not turned around. Like he's like, and this is the thing about it. Like, as you get older in the NFL, your hips don't get better. That's just not how it works. Your hips go down. So that's why I say, in my opinion, and KJ is a guy who can come downhill on special teams. Like, if you go, like, there was a point in this season where I was like, man, he might be a low-key Pro Bowler on the damn special team, because he was making plays.
Yeah, he had to make a play. Matter of fact, he forced a fumble in the San
Francisco
game.
I forgot about Jordan Lewis, but Jordan Lewis, guys, is coming off of what, that Liz Frank?
No, Jordan Lewis 4.7. I can't give. I don't know about that, man. He hurt, and he $4.7 million.
We do need depth. So I changed my mind because I said I couldn't see Cowboys drafting cornerback, but actually I can, because we need depth at that position. Because I mean, you think about it, if Diggs or Gilmore gets hurt.
What if Diggs hold out?
They hold out.
So yeah, that's nothing. If Diggs holds out, I mean, are you rolling out there Nashawn Wright? Are you rolling out there Kelvin Joseph?
Listen to me. We be asking like that. We think the Cowboys gonna do the right thing. Star, stop saying it like that. You should be saying it like this. We're gonna roll out Kelvin Joseph. We're gonna roll out Nashawn Wright, because
I forgot about Izzy. That's true.
We believe.
I like Izzy a lot.
I forgot about Izzy. That's true.
Hey, speaking of Izzy, I was gonna drop this, but we're gonna have Izzy on the show on Monday at what time, Henny?
It's gonna be 6:00 my time. So you in Texas, tune in 6:00 Texas time. We will be on here with Izzy McQuamu, safety / corner from South Carolina. So SEC guys. So we're gonna have a lot of talk.
Yes, sir. So make sure you guys tune in on this Monday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be getting it popping with Izzy McQuamu, you feel me? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, like we gotta make sure that we always have our Jerrynomics hat on, because sometimes y'all be listening to me, y'all be losing the audience, you know what I'm saying, because y'all be making too much damn sense now. You know what I'm saying? Don't be over here making them too many damn sense now. You gotta think, you know what I'm saying? This is not a show of making sense. This is a show of Jerrynomics. You know what I'm saying? We gotta figure this thing out. Now, listen, I see it like corner. The cool thing about this is the Cowboys. I don't think they're gonna do anything with Jordan Lewis until after the draft. And if you don't have to, If he ain't talking, I ain't talking. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how you be like, hey man, listen, I know all you guys are good with your finances, but you ever owe somebody $40 and you be like,
They don't say that, and I'm not saying
matter of fact, if you owe me $40, you better answer my goddamn phone call.
that.
But you know how when you owe West Coast $40 and you be like, I don't know. I don't know nobody in California but West Coast. Nope. I'm gonna take that number back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they need to do with Jordan Lewis all the way up until day 3. Day 3, we definitely answer the phone. If we ain't got no corner by day 3, you're not convincing me that I'm gonna get Deron Bland 2 years in a row. And if we do, Al Harris is a genius. He is a man who is a QB. He is a cornerback whisperer. If he can do that 2 years in a row, he's a QB.
I forgot about Deron Bland. That's my bad, guys. We do have Deron Bland.
Remember, he's a slot though. He's a slot though.
That's true. We need an outside because I think we prefer to keep. I think even though we did switch Deron Bland to play an outside and inside, I do think Dan Quinn.
What the film say, girl? What the film say on Bland? where he better at, girl? Go on, tell him, girl.
I mean,
listen. He had more production at the slot. All 5 interceptions came when he started lined up in the slot position.
So he is a slot cornerback.
He is their nickel. He is a slot nickel corner.
Can we agree that so this is what I listened to. You said a word that it's a V word. It kind of scared me earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Versatility.
Yes. I start sweating when you what? I start itching. He said he got that what? He got that versatility. I don't want no more of that versatility. Listen to me. There's some players that need the versatility tagging taken off them. Like, I don't need you to be versatile. I need you to be good at this one thing. Like Deron Bland, I don't need him versatile no more. Like, I don't need him playing outside, inside. Why? I need you to shut down that middle. And let's just be real. Like, the NFL is gonna dictate where your best corner really needs to be, or your most athletic corner needs to be.
Right.
And the NFL, the wide receivers say right now, your ass better have an athletic slot.
A good slot.
Because everybody can't afford a Chase. Everybody can't afford a young Julio Jones. Everybody a DK Metcalf. Everybody can't afford that. But everybody can go get some kid from Texas AMC who 4-2 and go fume.
You're right. You need Deron Bland in that slot because he showed he was able to handle those shifty slot wide receivers,
which is damn near impossible.
Exactly. Like, this guy's playing man cover, so you definitely need to keep him in that slot. So we definitely need an outside corner. We need to get Emmanuel Forbes, but that's.
I agree.
Like, I think Emmanuel will be there. I really do. But I do think I'm picking offensive lineman, if not Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, listen, I don't want Cam Smith. I don't want none of these other boys.
Where is he on the draft? Where do you think he's on the draft? Where is he? Not on the draft board. Where is he on this depth chart? Immediately come in.
4. He immediately will be
behind Bland.
See, then my question is this: are you drafting a first-round pick? Because listen to me, there's so much value at Bland. The ultimate goal is to sign Bland, to extend him. You want to know why? Because over the life of his contract, you're going to pay him nothing. Deron Bland is literally a Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? It's a walking desk. When it comes to a contract, he's a walking Dak Prescott. The reason being, people's like, what do you mean he's a walking Dak Prescott? The reason I'm saying is because, listen, when you got Dak Prescott, he did play really good his first. Listen, you can say whatever you want to say about Dak today. But you all know, man, that boy took out Romo. That boy was balling his first 4 years, right? And guess what the Cowboys paid him? $2 million.
For 4 years of production,
$2 million. And he gave you high-end talent. Deron Bland is that same type of guy. He's giving you high-end talent. Like, if Deron Bland was doing what he was doing in a contract year, $18 million.
Right. And I mean, he was a 5th round pick. So you're 100% spot on that he is a walking Dak Prescott. He's a defensive Dak Prescott. So it's like, at this point, I do think, I mean, he's cornerback 2 is now locked in because for this year. So I mean, if we draft Forbes,
Gilmore and Diggs, right?
Right. It's gonna be
Yeah,
So,
we already know.
Billboard
Yeah,
Diggs
we know
Bland.
without a
so can
doubt
I
who
ask
the
a question real quick then?
yeah.
So is Diggs, then you're gonna have to expound on it just real quick. So that means in your if Diggs is your starting cornerback, that means they did what with his contract? Stargazer.
They extended him.
Damn, okay, that's what I'm talking about. High five, virtual high five. I like you, you know what I'm saying? She just straight to the money. Yeah.
They're gonna give him.
Did
I
he
mean, and
hold out though?
they should.
Did he hold out to get the money though?
I hope
Hopefully
he
not.
doesn't. What's his name?
I hope it's like a Zach Martin situation. I hope they just see his car not out there one day. Like, you know what?
Yeah, what's his name?
Let's
I
not
think
play with
they
it.
know the
Even
reporter. Oh, Clarence. Clarence Hill said that the front office they are going to either extend Diggs or CD this
I'm gonna
offseason.
tell you this
That's
right
the
now.
goal, they
If
said.
you have to extend one and they don't even have to extend one, they can see. I hate when the Cowboys do that because you know what that makes the Cowboy Nation do? Pick between the two. And the Cowboy Nation sometimes don't understand that you could have both. Like realistically, mama's asking you want pound cake or you want ice cream. Well, mama, how can I get both? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
They
Like
need to just
there's
go
a
ahead
third
and extend
option.
both of them.
Have you
Really.
noticed that there's with the Cowboy Nation, there's only two options? There's Zeke and there's Pollard.
Right. We
There's
can't ever have both.
you're like, why can't we ever have both? Like, I
We
like
can
my
never have
peach
both.
cobbler with ice cream. You feel me? You know what I'm
Sad.
saying?
We can't have both.
I know it's sad, ain't it?
Very sad.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you're right, because they have the cap space, right? Even with
Oh, they
these,
do. Yep.
contracts that they made, they still gonna get another $10 million from the Ezekiel
Yep.
Elliott contract, after June the 1st. And then if I'm not mistaken, they have close to $10 million right now still. So you got around $20 million to
They
play
have the
with.
space.
And if you like we said, if you did cut somebody like Jordan Lewis, you save another 4.7. If you get a long-term deal done with Tony Pollard, you can rescind the tag and save money there. So like there's still plenty of ways for the Dallas Cowboys to shave some
And
fat
get
and
those
get some
deals
money.
done because I mean you want to get those deals done for CD and especially Diggs. You want to get them deals done as soon as possible because I don't think that there's any like the Asante Samuel Juniors and stuff like that. Like I don't think there's any other young cornerbacks that have been signed as of yet or that are up for a really extension. So it'd be better to just go ahead and get ahead of the market. But we say this every year, and does the Cowboys ever do it? No, they
No.
Yeah.
they never do it. They wait till the market is set, and then we're stuck having to pay, a certain amount of money. And with Diggs' tenure and what he did, breaking the intercept or tying the most interceptions in the season record last year. I mean, this is an all first team All Pro last year. He done build up his resume, so you're gonna have to give Diggs a bag, or he will go to Buffalo. Because you don't think Diggs want to play with his brother?
He already
Absolutely.
said he did. What are you talking about? He already said he did.
Diggs will go to Buffalo so
He already
fast, our
said
heads will spin. So
and think about this, guys. Think about this. He's only maxed out with incentives to make his base is going to be $2 million. With incentives, he's going to make $4.7 million. Right? If I'm Trevon Diggs' agent, I would give him $4.7 million out of my just round it up. If I'd give him $5 million out of my own pocket, not to play. Because if he signs a mega deal, I'm going to make more off that than off the deal. Then guess what? When he gets his money back, I'll just take my $5 million back. Like if you really need the $5 million, I'll loan you $5 million right now, not to play. Not to play. Why? Because man, the type of contract that he's going to have, the type of guaranteed money in the beginning, because you got to remember, agents don't get paid off restructures because there's no new money on a restructure. Agents get paid off in extensions. They want their players to get extended. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if like and to be honest with you, man, like the Cowboys, there's just no. My thing, if I'm looking at Diggs, is this: what guarantee do you have they won't franchise tag you?
There is
there's
none.
no
And
guarantee.
you gonna trust Jerry Jones?
I wouldn't.
You
Diggs
shouldn't.
Diggs should get
You
paid
shouldn't.
this offseason.
Are you gonna trust Jerry Jones, bro? They're gonna listen to me. You know what the money? You know what the history says that you're gonna be the 6th player we franchise tag.
Yeah.
They use the franchise
Every
tag every
single
single
year.
year.
And it's crazy because think
Diggs
about
is just one you can't play with. You cannot play with this boy because he will be gone. And we have not had a premium cornerback like that.
since Dion.
Since Deion Sanders.
Like we can't afford to lose him.
And
So
think
I
about this:
really
we didn't
hope
even
they don't
draft
mess this
Dion.
up.
And
What'd you say?
if you're thinking about
Right.
drafting, it would be Everson Walls.
Literally, like we cannot
Literally.
afford to lose Diggs. I don't know what kind of games they playing. I don't care about this whole he's not tough, he doesn't tap. I don't care about none of that.
Hey,
Nobody
you
cared.
notice
Listen,
how nobody cared
nobody
when
can
he got
even name the
interceptions. Nobody
best.
cared about the tackling. And you think about this, he had more interceptions in 2021, and nobody cared about the tackling, right? Well, he had a career year in tackling the next year, and people said he sucks at tackles. He had a
Makes no
career
sense.
year in
Matter
tackling.
of fact, they can't listen. They can't even name the best tackling cornerback
There's
in the
no
National
Yeah,
Football
I
League.
can. He also gave up.
Well, you
He
can,
also
but
gave up 10 touchdowns too, though. So
Marcus Peters.
in the last two seasons.
Star, you be on your stuff, Star. Star be on her stuff, man. Yeah, that's why I tell people like there's definitely a trade-off. There's definitely a
Yeah, like if
trade-off.
you want him to tackle, but you give up 10
Like, I'm gonna
touchdowns a year.
tell you another good. And listen, I am not trying to say this to diminish him in any record because I have defended this young man on air. But I'm gonna tell you another really good tackling corner, Anthony Brown.
Yep.
Anthony Brown's a really good tackling corner. But guess what? Why don't y'all want him? Because of everything else.
Cannot
Like
cover. Like
you don't get both. It's just not how it was. If Deion Sanders didn't have to tackle and he had to do it, I'm just sorry. You can't talk me into it. I'm sorry.
talk me into things saying that you must tackle. And
At the
Diggs can
cornerback
tackle. Diggs
position.
had a career year, like you said, in tackling.
Won
I
a game with a
rewatched the
tackle.
49ers game. Diggs was actually making tackles in that game, or trying to at least. Like y'all can't be playing Diggs like he just
wasn't. And think about this. And if you, man, I don't want to bring up the 49er game, but it's like the interception, bro, was so split decision. Like him even getting his hands on the ball, because if you look at the film, his whole attention is flowing with the flow of the traffic.
right.
And then the ball like just comes. And like I'm gonna tell you, Diggs is a former wide receiver. They teach wide receivers the first way to catch the ball is with your eyes. That's the first thing. So like literally, Diggs doesn't even like it's not even like it's everything's moving so fast. And I'm not saying he could have just, but it's like, bro, those are just like
he said he didn't even see it.
Exactly.
Like he was like, bro, J-Ron Kurtz asked him, like, bro, what happened to the interception? He said, I didn't even see it, bro. Like it basically just like fell in his hands.
Like exactly like we saw the ball coming to him, but it's like
he didn't see it.
He didn't see the ball, like you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't see the ball. And it's like, and I'm not trying to like give him any excuses or things like that, but it's like, those are those like you can't knock a dude for not making a once in a lifetime
interception.
Like how many times has Michael Jordan not made the winning shot? I'm pretty sure a lot. I'm pretty sure a lot, but we don't think about that.
Yep, that's 100% true. And shout out to Dwayne Brown. Thank you for commenting on my football knowledge. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody in the chat that pumping my head up, making me feel good about myself. Thank you.
Oh, I know your head gonna get too big for that. Sorry, we went to put a RTB on it. RTB. Matter of fact,
you supposed to send me a hat so I can wear it.
Yes, sir. Hey, you already look at us. You said, like West Coast, I have fulfilled my contract. At this point, I should be issued a hat. But yo, hey man, we got one more subject before we get up out of here, and this is someone that I think this is a player that is kind of getting swept under the rug, but I think the Cowboys are nonchalantly putting a lot of pressure on this guy, and this is Michael Gallup. You know what I'm saying? Michael Gallup, America's favorite child. I remember when I was on my soapbox preaching, "Don't pay this man," and y'all called me everything but a son of God, man. Y'all listen. It's only been a couple conversations where it didn't got nasty. Dak and god dang me, no, that wasn't Dak. Jalen Smith was really, I didn't want to say his name.
Oh yeah,
Jalen Smith, it got nasty, and Michael Gallup. And he literally went from America's favorite child to just like, y'all hate Michael Gallup, man. And it's like, it's crazy because he is contractually under more pressure this year than last first year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it is what it is. But the beautiful thing about it, right? Even though they restructured his contract, there is still an out in his contract. In 2024,
he's not going to get the yard. Think about this. Everybody's like, we should get another weapon at the third receiver, bring another wide receiver. Bro, how do you expect Michael Gallup to make the money that he's like? Even if he is better, how do you expect him to do that from the third or fourth receiver? Like, it's not going to happen. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Well, listen. This is the thing, right? They listen. We both agreed that he should never got the money. Amari Cooper was completely healthy. All they had to do
And
was
help.
not re-sign Michael Gallup. Yeah, all they had to do was not re-sign Michael Gallup. And then then Amari Cooper restructured his deal anyway, so you could have got a pay cut. Either way it went. But Michael Gallup has not been healthy these last two
Nope.
seasons. Like people forget, like before he even tore his ACL, he had like a hamstring or something, and he missed multiple games before he came back. Then tore his ACL after only be back for a couple of games. Then he came back last year. He missed a little bit of time, and he wasn't himself first year after ACL injury. So like it's part of the game. It happens, but when you're making that kind of money, you haven't been productive. You haven't even cracked 500 yards in the last two
Yeah.
seasons. So your job is on the line. And I know I hate the fact that it's come to this, but listen, you were not in the position to trust Michael Gallup to be the number 2 receiver.
You're
And
not.
just weren't.
And I'm gonna tell
So
you this:
you had to
if
get
Michael
Brandon Cooks.
Gallup was a goddamn tight end or a running back, his ass would be up out of here. Like the only thing that's
100%.
protecting him is like the wide receivers are core. Remember, we got to have 5 of them. We got to have, bruh. If he was in any other position, bruh, his ass would be out of here, bruh.
Right, because they listen. They didn't give that same level of grace
Bruh,
to
they
Dalton
thank
Schultz,
you.
and Dalton Schultz were productive. And I know like people are saying like they're banking on the potential of the guys behind them, but over the last 2 seasons, Dalton Schultz was 5th in receptions. He was 6th in yards. No, he was 4th in receptions. He was 5th in touchdowns, and he was 6th in yards in the tight
And
end
Michael
position
Gallup
over
has
the
never
last
been
2
a top
seasons.
15 receiver in his career. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
was gonna add. I was say, is that true? I don't think
But
so.
say Jason Garrett.
Oh, Michael Gallup, no.
Because
Michael Gallup has never been a
2019,
top
that's
15
wide
receiver.
receivers led the league in drops. So I
Hey,
don't know.
y'all, hold on, y'all chill out, y'all
Mhm.
chill out. Hey, I'm trying to get some tree. Hey, Jason, you over there smoking that good? Hey, inbox, man. Hey, inbox me. Pass
I
that. You
don't think
feel me?
he's over there. Mhm.
Earmuffs. Everybody else earmuffs. Jason Garrett, whatever you smoking, send me
No,
about
it's all good.
couple grams. You know what I'm saying? Because you smoking that ooh wow. You know what I'm saying? He said
What
Michael
could I
Gallup
say?
was a top 15 receiver. Never in his life. Never in his life.
Well, he had
That's not
he had
top
an
50.
1100
Come on,
yard
never in his
season.
life.
So
Look it up,
let's
Hitney.
go look at
Maybe he's
2019.
untrue.
Never in his life. I'm talking about
Yeah,
all over
Let me
stats, man. We
see.
ain't talking about no 1100. Talking about with them touchdowns.
Hold
What that
on,
boy had them
man.
touchdowns?
Hold on. I gotta
You
look,
probably
cuz
top
you gotta give me
top
time,
50
man. You gotta give me time,
on
man.
fantasy. Yeah, you mean?
Hold on, man. I gotta go back and look at this. I'm gonna be fair to
Let's
my
do you
boy,
right,
man. You know I rock with Jason, so I'm gonna go out here and look. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go out
let's
here and look at the
Michael.
yardage. Boom. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's see. Let's
No, he only
see.
had 6. No.
Oh no. Because let me. I can count all the guys that had more yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, uh
Listen, man. Listen to me. Hey, this
17,
my little homeboy.
18,
Hey,
19,
No.
20,
hey, say,
21,
we are
22,
not about to sit up here and point
23,
out Michael Gallup's fault,
24.
man. You gotta leave that boy alone, man. Like leave him alone, man. Leave Mike alone, man. Come on, man. Listen, Mike was a good wide receiver. I say that, and Mike good
He's a
wide receiver. Stop,
Hold on, man. I'm still counting.
stop, stop,
25,
please
26,
stop,
27, 28.
He
stop.
only had 5 touchdowns in 2019.
Like, come on, bro. Listen to me. But you know what that be though? That's you know what it was though, Jason G. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It was your expectations. You wanted him to be a top 15 receiver. But I'm gonna tell you, expectations and reality, those are streets that rarely cross.
Well, Cuz said because he did it in 14
You know what I'm
games,
saying?
he get the love
Okay.
for it. I could feel it.
Like, listen,
I can feel it.
I'm not knocking. I'm not. I'm a really big at seeing people what they are. Like, I do business with shady people all the time. You don't know why? Because they're shady. Don't mean I'm shady. You know what I'm saying? Just means I gotta make sure I don't leave my wallet around them. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody got a cousin that's a scammer. You still your cousin, still come to the house. You just can't leave your credit cards and stuff around them. I still love you. You may gotta stand at the door. You know what I'm saying? Once you understand the devil that you're dealing with, you can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the Cowboys just got to, as long as the Cowboys are always understanding with these players what they're dealing with. My issue with Michael Gallup is I feel like fans, I think you guys never understood what Michael Gallup was. Like, I think at pick 88 or 82, wherever he was in third round, I think you got the most out of him. Like, you bought a car for $1,000 and you drove it for 2 years. Now you're mad trying to get a third year out of it. No, let it go, bro. Like, a college car is only designed to get you through what? College. Like, you better not go to your third interview in your like, come on, man.
Michael Gallup does have good feet. That's true, because Regina Green said not many receivers have the awareness of space and toes that he does. So he does have ballerina feet. We're not denying that. But at the same time,
how much you paying for that, Star? How much you paying for that? Because I don't even know.
Michael Gallup, he did not give us nothing this year.
I think when he completely healthy, he
a role.
That's
exactly. I agree, Henny. He has a role completely healthy, 100% healthy. Michael Gallup can give you something.
And listen, like, I'm not saying he's Dez Bryant, but he fits the Dez Bryant role and what you want. He's the guy that usually goes up to try to high point the ball. Even though he's a guy that high points with his body, I still like he goes up to try to make no plays.
Because Terrence was the toe tap king, and he was a body guy. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Gallup, he reminds me of Terrence Williams, because Terrence Williams had some big plays. You know what I'm saying? In games, he just never really had big games. You know what I'm saying? But he had some big moments.
Plays.
And then I think
that's what I remember from Michael Gallup. He doesn't have big games, but he does have big plays.
Yep.
Well, he had a big playoff game. We just didn't win. I think we would talk about it differently. The Rams game, like, Michael Gallup went off, but like, we got ran off the field. So, we really couldn't enjoy it. But Michael Gallup went crazy in that Rams game. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Hey, we're gonna take one quick. We're gonna do a couple random fire questions before we get up out of here. We got like 5 minutes. Iceberg Slim says Quentin Johnson or Dalton Kincaid at 26 need another playmaker you can trust. You can't trust Gallup West Coast. Like, listen to him. Why? Time out. Don't tell West Coast you can't trust Michael Gallup when I was telling y'all not to sign him. What is y'all talking about? What is you talking? I'm just now under the understanding that it's like, yeah, I can't trust him, but I also got $11 million wrapped up into him. So, like landlord proved to me the other day, sometimes West Coast, you gotta bet on him, right? That's a bet, right? It's not a bet he should have took, but guess what?
They took it.
It's a bet.
They did it.
And I'm gonna tell you, Quentin Johnson, if he's there, it makes me hard to believe the Cowboys would take another wide receiver, because that's a lot of money in the wide receiver room. But it's also hard for me to believe they pass.
Hold on now. Hey, listen. I will say this though: the same way that you need, leverage against Dak Prescott, you can go get you some leverage against CeeDee Lamb.
Listen to me. The Minnesota Vikings, they pay 2 wide receivers. Like, if you're gonna pay 2 wide receivers, just use them. I'm not tripping. Just make sure you use them.
Do it.
But it's like, if you go get a Quentin Johnson, you need to be immediately trying to figure out a way to get Michael Gallup out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now the Kincaid guy, I don't know about him. He is that's a 24-year-old tight end, right?
25-year-old tight end with Becky.
The only problem I have with Kincaid is, like, I almost, like, realistically, and people are gonna be like, West Coast, that's why I don't watch you for your draft content. But listen to me. My draft content is very, very common sense, right? Common sense say this: if you're 25 years old, in 4 years, you're going to be 29. In 5 years, you're going to be 30. Mm-hmm. That means realistically, I'm going to draft you for one contract. Because who's signing a 29 or 30-year-old tight end? Nobody.
Unless he's all world. And
exactly. So that's why I said it today. Yeah. I was like, bro, he's almost undraftable. Like, somebody might get him in the.
You're 100% right.
Because you're literally going to get him for 1 year. For one contract. And I think about this. A lot of people don't know how contracts work out, but if you're Dalton Kincaid, I would almost not want to be drafted. You want to know why? Because if I'm not drafted, because if you get drafted, you're limited to one contract. And it's going to be like a cheap contract, no matter what it is, because that's your NFL career. Because for the most part, unless you're Kelsey, bro, nobody's re-signing a 30-year-old tight end. So if you get undrafted, where you get to pick the team you're going to go to, and you're more likely going to get a 1 to 2 year deal. So you have a chance to make more money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like,
right. And listen, even Travis Kelce
Right.
was a third
You know
round
what I'm saying?
pick.
So that's why I'm like, and bro, you damn near 25. I can't see the Cowboy. You gonna draft you today that you wouldn't even because you're not gonna use a 5th-year option on a 30-year-old tight end.
No. No, you're not.
You're not
Mm-mm.
gonna do it. You know what I'm
No.
saying? But
Well,
hey, man, we've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes, man. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Say Stargazer, hey, let them know where they can find you at, man.
You guys can find me on YouTube at Stargazer Sports. You can find me on Facebook, on Stargazer Sports Media, but I'm pretty sure you just put in Stargazer Sports, it'll pop up. You could also find me on Twitter. Just put in Stargazer Sports, just like it's written there on the screen, and you should be able to find me on all platforms.
And make sure you give her a like and support. HGM, where they can
Oh,
find you at?
oh, sorry. Also Instagram, Stargazer Sports. So if
IG.
you find me on those platforms, guys, for all Cowboys content. And I should be going live tomorrow. So that'll be fun. So please come to my YouTube channel.
Hey, can somebody do me a favor and tell me if I'm live on Instagram? Can somebody look on my Instagram and just tell me if I'm live on Instagram? HGM Sports, where they can find you at, man?
yeah, man, it's your boy Henry the Moore reporting live from the liquor store. You can catch me over here, like I said, HTM Sports on YouTube and Twitter. If you want to check out the Facebook, it's Henry the Moore. And also, I always say on the way out, drink and drive responsibly. But if you see an Eagles fan in the middle of the road, you have my permission to run their ass over.
Hey, my boy, he says, Dwayne Brown says, Stargazer, you held your own tonight. It's my Fredo. He says, love the content. Christy says, what's up? Well, everybody appreciate y'all. Hey, man, so you already know, man, anywhere on the internet that you could type in West Coast Cowboy, and I promise I'm going to pop up. You already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.